Well, I'm here inside the NASM OPT Center with Mallory Fox. And Mallory, you've got a long list of titles. You were just listing them off for me off camera a little bit, just so I have them for later. So tell us, we're here at NASM. What is your role here and what do you do? Because I know it's a lot of things.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jordan, and thank you for having me to chat today about something I'm very passionate about. I could talk about this all day, but I'll try to be succinct. Here at NASM, I'm a product marketing manager, so I get to share our products with the world and be their main hype girl and help trainers to build a sustainable career through our educational products. And I think I'm the perfect person to do that because I was able to do that for my own career, starting as a personal trainer back in the early 2000s and ending up here today.
So for those that don't know, NASM is one of the leaders in where people go to get their certificates to become personal trainers, as well as so many other things. Generally speaking, what should somebody know about NASM and what that process is like?
That's such a great question. So what I think it's important for people to know about NASM is that we are rooted in science. That is what I found really attractive as a aspiring fitness professional, is that all of our programs are created by experts. So our authors, our contributors are PhDs, they are medical doctors, they are the foremost authorities in all of the different sciences. And the course material is tried and true, so it's based on evidence-based practice. So it's not a guess or a theory or a fad. There are real results that have informed all of the educational products, and we equip trainers with the tools that they need and the education to help them to feel confident and to help them to make a real difference in their clients' lives.
Why is it so important, maybe more so now than ever? You know, today with social media, there's so many fitness influencers that maybe haven't studied up on it. They share what worked for them, and it kind of is a murky water. What's the importance of having, you know, a body like NASM that's making sure that quality trainers are being developed and taught so that they can actually help people in a way that is kind of succinct and, I guess, just organized, really?
Yeah. Well, I think number one, that fitness professionals, there's a great deal of trust instilled. So when a client brings to me their hopes, their dreams, their goals, they're sharing their medical history, they're sharing their personal challenges, I have a duty as a fitness professional to do the best I can to support them and to help them get to their goals. And, you know, often being paid a great deal of money to do so. So I think that first and foremost, you need to make sure that you have a solid education, again, based in science and evidence-based practice, so that you can help assure the clients that you'll be able to help them achieve their goals and improve their health outcomes. You know, clients bring a variety of goals. Some want to improve athletic performance. Some want to have an easier time getting dressed in the morning. So whatever the client's goal is, NASM is helping trainers and wellness professionals to help their clients meet that goal. You mentioned that there's the rise of fitness influencers and AI and many other tools that make information very accessible. But there's also a challenge, there's that gap in having the knowledge and understanding to know what's myth and what's fact. And so I think that having a partner like NASM is just essential to kind of get through that noise of all of the trends and all of the crazy things. You know, it used to be, back when I started, it used to be someone would say, oh, I saw this on the Today Show. I read this in the New York Times, what do you think? Now it's, hey, there's this TikTok trend, should I try it? And so it's very difficult for fitness professionals to stay on top and to, you know, stay up to date on the latest evidence and knowledge, and that's why we're here. That's what we do. We update our courses continually with the latest in cutting edge research and in all the developments that are happening in the world. So short answer, we help trainers to have the best information and tools so that they can spend their time supporting their clients.
I think, you touched on something early on there that really hits home, because on this platform here, starting the conversation, I've talked to different personal trainers and why it's important and kind of what personal trainers do, the differences, between trainers and doctors and sports medicine and all that stuff. One thing that I always enjoy talking about is that people sometimes think like, oh, okay, personal training, it's for people that want to be athletes. It's for people that want to run their first 5K, whatever it is. But you're right. It's also for people that are like, you know what, I want to be able to tie my shoes in the morning, and I haven't been able to in a while. Or my kids are really little, and I want to be able to run around with them. I can't because I've just got too much going on that I can't. So how do you see it, on your end as far as how, personal trainers are really able to make an impact on such a wide range of people?
That is such a great question. Thank you for asking. I look back at my career, and when I started as a personal trainer, I was fresh out of high school. I'd been a competitive athlete. I was a swimmer. And I thought that my clients would be people who wanted to improve athletic performance. So most of my clients were just normal people who hadn't worked out in a while, who'd put on a little extra weight, who'd had a baby and wasn't getting sleep. There were people who really needed help with those foundational health needs. What we look at today in the fitness world as wellness, having that solid foundation in recovery, in mental and emotional well-being, in sleep, in movement, and getting more movement and making better nutrition choices. So when I started as a trainer, I felt really out of my depth because I'd never been at a point in my life where I needed help with mobility or where I had trouble walking up a flight of stairs. And so that's why I really invested in my education so that I understood, the mechanisms of how you teach someone how to do a squat, the motor control needed to master that movement. I think I'm getting off from your question.
Oh, you're good. That's great.
Okay. But for trainers, it can be really overwhelming. And I remember, someone's paid $100 for my expertise, and you're going through your intake forms, and there's that moment as a trainer where it's like, where do I even start? What do I do? And so knowing that I'm part of a community where there are professionals who've been down that road so many times really helped me as a young trainer to develop my skills and to improve and to help people. So I think you also asked about how trainers help clients with those goals, and it's through cultivating a relationship. Trainers wear so many different hats. They'll jokingly say that therapist, friend, drill sergeant. So it's really cultivating that relationship, I think, is at the heart of it, is getting to know somebody and hearing about their hopes and their dreams and their concerns, their fears. It can be a very vulnerable space, and helping that person and guiding them along the way to achieve the goal, and knowing that changes as life throws curveballs. Someone might be looking to run a marathon, and then they didn't get sleep one night, and they woke up one morning and tweaked their ankle, and then now instead of running the marathon in the timing that they expected to, they're going to physical therapy, and they're trying to fix the challenge that happened. So it's also helping navigate that winding of life, and just helping the client to stay mentally resilient and focused on their long-term health and well-being.
This next question, I feel like I could almost speak on it a little bit, but you're much more of an expert, and that's, so how does the course prepare for all of those things, going through and becoming a personal trainer and other certificates? Because I actually went through it when I was 18. I did get certified through NASM, and I enjoyed the process. It was right around the same time I was getting into TV, and so it was kind of keep my eyes open to different paths, and I enjoyed it, but TV was just kind of where I wanted to go. So I never really did much with it. A couple people here and there, friends, that gave me some perspective on how to help them, but never got full on with clients. But how do you think that the course and just in general the resources and the community that you're able to build here at NASM helps new trainers, understand that you're going to help all kinds of people, you're going to be a therapist, you're going to be a friend, you're going to be all these things? How does that kind of give them that grounds?
Yeah, and all in one day.
Yeah.
I think that the having the evidence-based practice to fall back onto, and we're in the OPT Center, which stands for the Optimum Performance Training Model, and that's a proprietary NASM system of training. So when I'm programming for a client, let's say that they want to lose 20 pounds. I can set up a plan based on the OPT model that will take them through the different phases of training. So the stabilization phase is first. That's where we're going to help your body get adapted to moving consistently and lifting weight, and we're going to work on improving your balance and all of the other aspects of fitness that people don't always think about when they think about starting an exercise program, but will help to prevent injury. It will help to build a stronger foundation for building muscle. It will help to ensure that all of the systems in the body are ready for the load that we're going to place on it. And so it's a systematic approach. I won't get too far into the weeds here, but it really is the building blocks for how to help people achieve those long-term goals. There are a lot of crash diets out there that could help somebody lose 20 pounds. There's a lot of, GLP-1s are very big topic in the fitness and wellness industry right now, and it's a great tool to help people to lose weight. But there's also a need for movement. There's a need for strength training to help to maintain bone mineral density. There's a need for things that a trainer provides that can help to sustain those long-term results. And I think that speaking to how NASM supports a trainer on that journey is providing in-the-moment tools. Like in January, we launched a GLP-1 Understanding Weight Loss Medications course because trainers had told us they were out of their depth. They didn't understand these medications. They're not a medical doctor, so what are their responsibilities to a client who's taking these medications? How can they help their client maintain results when they stop taking the medications? So we created a course with several experts to help trainers understand their scope of practice, help them to understand what their clients might be experiencing when they're on these medications, help them understand what they can do, the behavior change to help their clients reach the goals. So on the one hand, giving those in-the-moment tools and support they need, and then on the other hand, the community. So when you mentioned that you did your NASM CPT, like right away, that's something that we have in common.
Right.
And one story that is kind of fun, this summer I was traveling and I had my NASM master trainer backpack on, and I got stopped in the airport. And the gentleman said, "Hey, NASM." And I was like, "Oh, you've heard of us." And we started up a conversation. And it's helping trainers to feel less alone. And no matter what challenge a client brings, there's going to be someone in the NASM community who has dealt with that challenge. I think another way is to also, you mentioned doctors and trainers and sports trainers, and there's also a pathway to building a career that people can love. And our NASM in Action page highlights trainers, NASM certified professionals across the United States who are doing really cool and exciting things and are kind of breaking the barriers in fitness and wellness and in ways that can inspire our next generation of professionals to do. So.
Absolutely. On the marketing side of things, and you mentioned, part of your job is helping trainers build brands and build, themselves in that sphere. How has that gone in this new world? Because before it was, for the most part, trainers either had their own gym they were working out of or they worked at like a big corporate gym. Now there's all kinds of avenues for trainers to have their own business model, and not to say that, going to a gym and doing that is not a good model, but it is probably a little bit less income driven. It's definitely a lower paying compared to being the potential of having your own. So how do you kind of navigate that and teach trainers interested in building their brand and doing their own thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have a lot of resources to support. We're working on a business blueprint for specifically nutrition coaches, for instance. Last year, we released a business blueprint for wellness coaches. We have one available for certified personal trainers. And as the world evolves, like when I started in my career, trainers only worked at a gym, and they only worked at big box gyms. And so trainers had support from, that base of people who are already in the gym working out to get clients. Now it's really shifted. We have independent trainers. We have trainers who are starting not just a new role as a trainer, but also owning a business. We have fitness influencers. We have people who work as a virtual coach. And so we continue to stay, on the pulse of how trainers need to work and provide them with tools. And as a product marketing manager, I get to talk to our clients all the time and find out, what are they struggling with? What do they need support in? What marketing resources can I help to offer them? And it's one of my favorite parts of my job, so.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, it's really cool. You're on the cutting edge of so many different things. I think that's got to be fun every day, right?
It is. It's a new challenge every day. It keeps me learning, which I love, and it keeps me connected to the people who are doing the really great work of helping others. So it's the best.
Well, I know there's so much to get into, but I just got to ask, because this might be towards the end here, but is there anything that you were really looking forward to sharing or getting across to our audience today?
Oh, that's so thoughtful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I'd like to share is to anyone who's listening who might want to be a trainer. I've learned a lot of lessons over the last 20 years in the fitness industry, and I'll say that I learned them by face planting. So for any aspiring trainer, just giving some advice of where to start, I would say focus on your education. So developing your skills. Trainers fill a lot of roles. And so really investing in that solid education of the science skills that are needed, and then staying flexible to develop the interpersonal skills that will help them as a coach. I would say focus on building a community, because you'll need people to help you help people.
Right.
And then I think the last thing is to just really stay open. As humans, we love routines. Our brains thrive under a routine. You can automate tasks, but as a professional, it's just really important to stay flexible and to stay agile, because the fitness and wellness industry evolves so quickly, just even in the last 5 years. So 5 years ago was 2020 and COVID happened, and so that was part of a huge shift in the fitness industry from working in person with people, that really helped to platform and amplify online and virtual training and fitness influencers. And so the people who were able to adapt quickly were able to get in on that wave. Other trends that we're seeing are a big shift from aesthetics-driven fitness and into more of a holistic wellness. And so that's been a challenge for a lot of trainers who have that no pain, no gain mentality. That can be a challenge when people are really rooted in those beliefs. And so being able to stay open to how clients' needs are evolving is a really important skill as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we won't, but I could go into what you just mentioned for hours, and just the shift in the way that training has gone, because I see it real time and I'm experiencing it too, and it's really, really powerful. But Mallory, thank you so much for taking the time. It was great chatting with you, and excited to maybe do this again in the future.
Thank you, Jordan. I'd love to chat with you anytime. We can have that fitness wellness conversation. And thank you so much for having me today.